Right, welcome back. This is Lone Star Social Media Marketing Campaign Part 2. We are going to be looking at how to analyze the data that Lone Star has given you as the lead digital marketer. So you are the new and lead digital marketer for the company, and you have an ambitious goal to increase the number of people with loans in the bank by 30%. Well, we always start by looking at the data to understand how customers have been interacting with the bank previously. And so you've asked your manager for all the data, and they have responded and they've given you all the data. And so here's the data right here. So you can see there is just a massive amount of data. Look at all this data. All of these people right here are customers. Look at these are all customers. Customer, customer. These are all customers. So you can see, oh my God, you got a lot of data to look at. And it goes down, 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 down. Wow, tons of data. Just look at all this data. Okay, so tons of data. And it goes this way. Wow. So lots of data. And data is a marketer's dream. Every marketer wants more and more data because there's so much value packed into here that you as a marketer can use to make decisions and base your decisions on. And so you got some important decisions to make. Which customer segments are you going to target for this your social media campaigns? Well, you're going to find some really interesting answers wrapped up in here. But first, we got to understand the data. So first job is to understand the data. So let's come back here and look at. I've kind of broken out some of it. So we know, we collect, or Lone Star collects some customer data points, and those are gender, age, marital status, education, loan history, account balance, their job title, and then any previous marketing campaign attempts that we've had with them. We keep track of that, or Lone Star keeps track of that. So for instance, let's look at an example setup here. So, you might look at a customer and see that the customer is male, gender male. You might look at the age of that customer and they fall within 35 to 41 years old. The marital status, you might see that they're single versus married versus divorced. You might look at their education and see that they have a college education um, or a graduate level education or a high school education. So that's all going to be baked into the data points of education. Loan history, you're going to see either yes or no. Yes, they've had a loan with Lone Star before, or no, they haven't. And if they have had a loan with Lone Star, what type of loan? Was it a car loan? Was it a student loan, etc.? And did they have multiple loans? Some of our customers had multiple loans. They've had two loans. That's interesting. You're going to see their account balance. So, and not only their current account balance, but you're going to see their account balance over time. So in 2018, you might see that they had $12,000. In 2019, you're going to see that it dropped a little bit. And then in 2020, you're going to see that it went up. And that's an example of what you might see. Okay, in job title, you're going to see what job they work. Are they an office manager? Are they a technician? Are they unemployed, etc.? And then previous marketing campaign attempts. So here, were we successful in reaching them? Yes or no? And then were we what type of communication did we try? Did we try cell phone, print media, blah blah blah. You're going to see a bunch of examples here. So these data points are really powerful. When we come over here and look, you're going to see them at the top. Hey, here's age for this customer. This customer is 30 years old. So obviously they fall into this age group of 26 to 35. This individual happens to be unemployed. She's female. She's married. She has a high school education. Ooh, look, we have her email. That's going to be important if we're going to reach out to her with some social media, maybe, if you want to do an email campaign. A default, don't worry about that. Lapsed user. This is, so a lapsed user is, we'll talk about what this is in a little bit. Here's account balance in 2018, account balance in 2019, account balance in 2020. Housing, no, don't worry about that. Loan, she's never had a loan with Lone Star. So obviously loan type, it would be blank because she's never had a loan with us. For second loan, obviously it'd be blank because she's never had a loan with us. Contact, we reached out to her and via cell phone, great. That's you know, and then outcome of a marketing campaign, unknown. We just don't know, and you can see that there's failures and unknown and success. So you can see that how it goes across here. Let's look over. So now, if you look at the bottom here, so this is what we call raw data. This is raw data. Raw data is hard to analyze. How can you like make meaningful insights out of this? There's just too much to look at. So what we do is we run reports out of this raw data. So for instance, let's look at some of the reports that we could look at. How about balance information? So here's a report called balance information. And you can see that we've summarized that raw data into 3 data points. Number of customers, 4,521. Average account balance, $12,986 in 2020. So the average account balance over all of our customers is almost $13,000. And then the number of people with loan histories with Lone Star, we looked at this before. 691 have had loans with Lone Star, and 3,830 have not had loans with Lone Star. So this is a good report. This tells us some information. Well, let's keep looking. Average balance in 2020. So now what we do is we start to break out that data based on these variables. So average account balance, so that's how much money you have in the bank. And what we do is we break it out based on these variables. So in this case, your marital status. So over all of our customers, those who are divorced tend to have an average of $10,000 in the bank. So the average balance for a Lone Star customer who is divorced is $10,252 in 2020. The average, so they're the lowest. They have the lowest account balance. Now, those who are married tend to have more. They tend to have 13,388, and those who are single have slightly less, 13,254. So that's interesting. What about types of jobs? So we look over all of our customers, and these are all the different types of jobs that they have: retired, management, student, technician, unemployed, unknown. Well, let's look at management. The average balance for customers who work as managers is 15,842. So that's interesting. And you can look here and see some trends. You know, it's often who's the highest, who's the lowest, who's blah, blah, blah. So you can look in here and find some trends. Here's by college education. Here's by age. Again, account balance by age. And then account balance by gender. Now, some of this might be meaningful and some of it might not. It might not mean anything. You might not be able to do anything with this marital status. Who knows? You know, as a marketer, you might not, and loan balance, it might be meaningless to you. But it could be meaningful to you with this age. Who knows? You are the marketer. So look at this. Balance change. So here we're looking at the same variables: divorce, the marital status. Now here is the account balance in 2018, 19, and 20. And you can see how it changes for divorce. So divorced, on average, 7,000, 21,000. Wow, it went way up somehow in 2019. And then it dropped again in uh, 2020. So you could see, wow, that was a huge spike and then it dropped. Something happened here. Same thing for here. Wow, that's amazing. So what you're looking for when you're looking in this data are for interesting nuggets like that that you may be able to figure out if something's going on. Okay, well, let's come down here and so you can see, hey, account balance change over time. You can see I just highlighted this one to show you the average, not because this one's special, just because I wanted to like show you an example. The average 2018 account balance for a customer who is retired was 14,500. Then in 2019 it went to 40,000. Then in 2020 it went down to 20,000. So wow, what a big spike and then a drop off. So something happened in 2019 and 2020 that made that spike in the account balance. Okay, but this, account balance might be meaningful to you, maybe not. What we're talking about is loans. Look at all this loan data that we have. Wow. So we're trying to get our customers. Here's loan data. We already know this. 691 people have loans versus 3,830 don't have loans. But look at this. Now we get to see how many people have loans based on the loan type. So of this 691 people who've had loans with us, 133 took out car loans. 137 took out credit cards. And 144 had student loans. So this could be interesting to you. Let's keep going down. You can see how it breaks out. Again, 691 based on these divorce or marital status. So you can see how it breaks out here. Most people tend to be married. Here you can see it on education. So again, 691. You can see how it breaks out there. On age group, 691. You can see how it breaks out here. These are the number of people. So 15 people age 19 to 25 took out a loan with Lone Star. So that's interesting. What's over here? So we got, let's look at this one. So loan type, oh, this one's interesting. So this one says it plays on two variables. So it says, hey, people who have a college education, what type of loan did they take out? So 74 people took out who had a college education took out a car loan. Now graduate school is beyond college, so it's beyond that. So 41 people who had a graduate degree took out a home mortgage loan. So that's what that means. So really interesting. Ooh, look at this one. So this is age group and whether they had a loan or not, and then their marital status. So let's see. Let's pick on this one right here. Again, not because this is special, just because I wanted to highlight it. So people who are aged 26 to 35 who had a loan with Lone Star, so yes, 143 of them were married versus 580 were not married, who were married but didn't take out a loan. And so you can try to glean some strategy out of this. And you can just keep going down and reading. This is one I want to highlight here. This could be an important one for you. Notice this one. First loan, second loan. So this one says, hey, people who first took out a car loan, what loan did they take out as their second loan? So these are people who have taken out two loans with the bank. They first took out a car loan. How many people then took out a credit card? 14. That's interesting. What about people who have taken out so this one says 15 customers took out a credit card as their first loan. So here's that 15. Then 9 of those 15 took out a home mortgage. So you may be able to, as a marketer, glean some strategy out of this. Like, hey, if I notice a trend that a lot of people, I'm guessing at this, don't take my word on this, but let's just say that, wow, I just found out that from the data, it looks like a lot of our customers are first taking out credit cards, then taking out home mortgage. Wow. Now as a marketer, I know that I'm going to try to increase if someone takes out a credit card, I'm going to try to promote the home mortgage next because that seems to be a trend that people are doing based on the data. Now don't do that just because I told you the credit card and the home mortgage. That may not be a reality, but you can maybe glean some insights into that. Here is campaign history, so you get to see, previous attempts, cell phone, print mail, etc. And then all breaked out on their occupation, their type of schooling, etc. You guys know all this. Here's gender analysis. So male and female and the type of loan that they've had. So really interesting stuff. And then lapsed users. So this is a really cool one. So we at Lone Star, we have a system where we categorize our customers into a lapsed user. Lapsed means kind of gone away or stopped using. So check this out. We have, and we break it into 4 categories. Category 1, lapsed user, says customer have used the bank in the last 5 days. So if a customer has used the bank in the last 5 days, we consider them a category 1. Okay. Well, a category 2, customer has not used banking services in the last 5 days. So if it's day 6 and a customer has not used a banking services, we consider them a lapsed user category 2. What about a category 3? Um, Customer has not used banking services within 15 days. Oh, that's interesting. So now we know that a customer has not used our any services in 15 days. We consider them a category 3. And then category 4 is a customer who has not used banking services in 30 days. Now look at how many these are individuals. So 1,115 people are category 1, 1,125 are category 2, etc. Okay, well, you can see how that breaks out with their account balances. You can see these are all the categories. You can see how that breaks out whether they've had a loan with us or not. So remember, 691 have had a loan with us. And so we can see, I just picked this one randomly, 179 Lone Star customers who have taken a loan before, have not used our banking services in 15 days. So they're category 3. They've taken a loan with us before, but they have not used any services with us in 15 days. So you may be able to reach out to them and come up with some strategy to reach out with them. And then here it is broken out on the type of loans that they've had. So car loan, credit card, etc. So again, guys, just backing up, we're gonna wrap it up here. This is all data that's based off of all this raw data that you have here. This is all data that you have here. And so your job is to mine this data to find meaningful trends and find a customer segment that you want to target. Remember that that's the goal. Your goal is to analyze the data to identify a customer segment that you want to target. Now remember that that customer segment has to be big enough to meet your marketing goal. Remember that your marketing goal is to to increase the number of customers by 30%. Well, 30% of what? Has to be 30% bigger than this, 691. So you have to do some math to figure out what is 30% more than 691. We're going to try to increase 691 by 30%. And so whatever customer segment you come up with has to be bigger than that, and at least that or bigger. And so that's one of your challenges. So that's the goal, is to analyze this data, spend time in it. Don't rush through it. Spend a good couple days digging in the data, trying to analyze it, figuring it out to identify a customer segment. You should walk out of here feeling really secure with the customer segment that you want to lean into. Lastly, you are going to fill this out. Describe the customer seg. So this is our kind of rubric here. You're going to scroll down, and you're going to, once you've decided that, you're going to describe the customer segment you'll target. So put that here, and then why you think you'll be successful with this this customer segment, and then what loan product are you targeting to this customer segment, and why do you feel this is a good match? So that's what you're going to kind of fill out based on your analysis here from the data. It's all data-based, guys. That's what we do. We work in the data. We draw meaningful insights from the data, and that's what we produce. All right. Well, good luck, and I can't wait to see all the creative work that you do.